All right. Greetings and peace, everyone. Welcome to the C.R.A YouTube channel. I am your host, Neo, and I'm here to share some info with the people. All right, welcome to all of my subscribers, current subscribers, and to new subscribers, and also to new viewers. Allow me to do what I usually like to do on each video is to provide a brief background about myself so that people can know what's going on with me and how I got my information, because this is very good for the new people. Okay, I was brought up in a single mother household. So this video is definitely going to be great coming from someone who actually was raised by a single mother. And I fortunately know who my father is and have spent quite a bit of time, great amount of time compared to a lot of other people who are still even searching for their father, or they know who their father is, but they haven't spent much time with them. So I'm fortunate about the amount of time, the exposure that I had with my father, even though they fully divorced when I was at age 4. And then my father was in and out of my life after that. And then at the age of 16, that's when he officially left, where there was like no in and outs. They was completely left, no more. Now I have 3 sisters. I am the only boy of my family, 2 older ones and 1 younger. And yes, it was crazy, but I got through it, fortunately. And I am fortunate about that experience because it has allowed me to have a lot of experience regarding women. And it gave me a reference point for me to utilize about the do's and don'ts. And I have a lot. I realized yesterday that I have a lot of good, bad examples of women, considering the women that are within my family, my immediate family, and my overall family that I have spent time with. So I'm fortunate now that my information in this video comes from that my background, and also the analysis of my background. And I have a large amount of single mothers within my family. And myself, I avoided having children because during my teenage years, I got the spiritual information, internal spiritual channel that told me to avoid having children and to study my family. And that's exactly what I have been doing for many, many years. And that is where a lot of my information comes from regarding relationships, because I have learned that our family is our first experience of relationships. And that could be a good experience or it could be a bad experience. And it all depends on a person's background, and it depends on how they choose to view it. So, and my also information comes from years and years of my personal development, analyzing of myself, my life itself, and other people, other couples. And I ask a lot of people questions too, to really get down to the bottom of why people make certain decisions. And then, of course, I've read a few books, and I talk about the different books that I've read throughout my years of personal development. That's in my other videos, and I might mention a few of them here. So that's that. And now it's time to move on to the next topic. The first topic that we have here is the explanation of human nature of the man and a woman. Now, what I have learned with studying man and woman, and even reading when I was brought up in the Jehovah's Witness religion, left that religion years ago. I realized that religion to myself is not for me anyways. I am into a lot of true spirituality type of information and true knowing. I'm at the point where I know that the true knowing of life, the universe, and my purpose comes from within, and I don't need to have someone external for myself to give me the information that I can get for myself regarding God, so-called God, or the universe, whatever it is. So me understanding human nature, studying myself, and studying humans in general in as many ways as possible, capturing as much information as possible, I've came to the conclusion and also reading the Bible, that man and woman, we were definitely designed to be together. We were not designed to be single, and we definitely were not designed to be single parents. And I hope that doesn't sound harsh to people, but if it does, you got to take that red pill and really get to the bottom truth. That is the truth. That is the reason why when we are alone, we feel lonely and we want to be with someone. That's the reason why, especially in particular, women definitely were designed to be with a man in a relationship, as far as that closeness, that intimacy. And I want to also put a disclaimer about that this information here can also be utilized for single fathers. However, I am directing this information predominantly for single mothers, because here in America, at least, there are a much larger percentage of single mothers than single fathers. Like for me, throughout my week, I definitely see much more single mothers at the stores, at the parks, driving around, in a variety of other places, much more than single fathers. I rarely ever see single fathers, and I can tell which ones are the single fathers because they have a certain energy that's different from the ones that are just out and about with their sons. It's a different energy. That's what I got very good at throughout my personal development journey. I developed the ability of reading people's energies. And it's a deeper reading rather than just reading people body language. A lot of people is just surface readers. They're not deeper readers. So we were designed to be together, and that's the reason why women in particular, they get really, really sad when they are alone. And I'm telling you, a lot of these single mothers and single women, they put on a huge front. I'm telling you, a huge front, as if they are comfortable being single. There is, however, a very small group of individuals, women, who are happy being single, and they can deal with being single because they understand that there is a lot of things going on here in our society that keeps people's minds trapped on lower vibrational type of things, and a lot of people's minds are chaotic and they're not trying to evolve themselves. So they want to keep that drama away from them, and they rather be single. This is the case with me. I'd rather be single than to be with a woman who is chaotic and who does not want to evolve herself. And especially, I like to stay away from these women here in America who are masculine in the mind, trying to dominate a man. A masculine woman is definitely not sexy to me. A woman who wants to do a lot of masculine things is definitely not sexy to me at all. Who wants to build with their hands, who wants to guide a man, tell a man what to do throughout their relationship, yell at a man, that's not sexy. That is something that goes on a lot in my family regarding the females dominating the man. However, here in America, there's a lot of mind control that's been going on for many years that has caused people to have gender role reversals. There's so many things going on that is taking people outside of their nature, causing them to be the reverse role of the genders. Now we have a lot more men, regardless if they look like a man and they walk like a man or not, they have the mindset of a woman more than a masculine man that they need to have, a masculine mindset. So they are comfortable allowing their woman to guide the relationship and allowing the woman to yell at them and allowing their woman to dominate them. This is what goes on a lot in my family with the females. My mother did it. Definitely my oldest sister, she does it. My second oldest sister, she is much more cooperative. She's one that definitely needs a dominant man, especially because she rather be the passive one than to be the dominant one. However, if necessary, if she's really pushed, as she has been, when I see her deal with certain guys, she will make her own decisions. However, she's one that's still in her nature, my second sister. So I'm glad that I analyzed her and I experienced that. She's the type, as far as her energy and her behavior, she's the type that I know that women are supposed to be in their nature. Highly comfortable being cooperative with the man, understanding, allowing him to guide the situation. But at the same time, and whenever necessary, he knows how and when to get input from her. That's what us men must learn how to do, is learn how to lead, be comfortable leading for a variety of situations when dealing with women in general, and having that high level of confidence within ourselves to be able to know how and when to lead, and at the same time knowing how and when to seek input from the woman. But also, this is why it's important to learn to identify and accept women who are of a decent amount of intelligence. Because if you want to seek input, hopefully you're going to be dealing with a woman who is going to give vital input outside of her emotionalism. That is something that women suffer from greatly, is their deeply wired emotionalism. That emotionalism, most women do not know how to deal with it. And it is something that seems like it's like another entity in itself. It makes them go haywire, where a woman can be in a relationship with a man and everything can be going perfect. And then out of nowhere, their emotionalism just starts to change. And then the woman starts to do what I say, what I call a malfunction. They go through like a malfunction where they seem normal at one point and everything is smooth. And some men might know what I'm talking about, and women too. Everything is smooth, and then just out of nowhere, something is just like, it's like a breakdown. It's like a breakdown. And then they just start causing up controversy out of nowhere. They might say something stupid. They might do something really, really immature. And then the guy is like, yo, we was just chilling. Like, don't make this bigger than it needs to be. Relax, please, please, please. There's a lot of movies and TV shows that show this. You can probably think of a movie that shows this in a scene. It's really, really crazy. That's the part where women need to really analyze and understand how to overcome those emotional moments, and don't allow those emotional moments to overcome themselves, so that they can avoid sabotaging very good moments, positive moments, and positive, successful relationships. So now let me go into explaining the causes of single motherhood that I have identified for myself based off of facts. Now, when it comes to having children, the facts is the DNA actually has a variety of information, large pockets of information that is passed on from the parents onto the children. This is why it is very vital for you to be very conscious of who you are having children with, and identifying their dominant characteristics, because those characteristics are going to be passed on to their children, the possibility. And the thing is about the DNA is you don't know what characteristics are actually going to be passed on to the children. That's why you still have to pay attention. So if you got a wild and crazy individual who is unstable on a variety in a variety of ways, psychologically, emotionally, and physically, then you might not want to go ahead and have children with that individual until after they get themselves together and they really become balanced. And if they don't ever become balanced, some people never do. They can be up to 50 years of age and never become balanced. Then they go ahead and then you might as well not even deal with them. So the causes of single motherhood, largely, first and foremost, I have identified is if the mother has a mindset and deep beliefs. Let me see, how can I? Okay, a great way to describe this is the current mindset of the parents during the time of conception of the child. That matters greatly because that is imprinted on the individual's DNA and then transferred onto the child. And then what goes on is if the child consistently sees the mother single a large portion of their life, especially the first 7 years. And then if it goes past beyond the 7 years, because the first 7 years of a child's life, that is where their subconscious mind is widely open, and it is open for programming of any sort. It's program of the positive and the negative surroundings of the individual. So if people are consistently seeing their mother being a single mom, that is a psychological programming. And then if it comes to the child of a female, who is a female, she is going to be programmed for single motherhood and just accept it as something normal, which is definitely not natural. It's unnatural being a single parent. However, the way that our society here in America in particular has been designed, it's been designed to make women feel that, and females feel that being a single mother is something normal. Nowadays, it is normal, but it's definitely unnatural. Because if you think about it, and if you're a single mother right now, you have those thoughts about having a man around to help out with your children. You definitely do not like it deep down inside, and that is your nature telling you that that this is unnatural and that you need a man in your life. A lot of women, they deny that they don't need a man because of a variety of reasons, and also, again, like I said, is the psychological conditioning from their mother or one or more other cases that programs them to think that single motherhood is okay and that they can do it without a man, and yada 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 yada. And there's a lot of this feminism that's going on too, and the feminism movement, that also is a propaganda to keep man and woman separate from each other, but we are supposed to be together. And let me give you another example too, personal example. There's some single mothers throughout my years that I've seen and met. And even when I'm just walking about and jogging or working out, I can feel their energy that they want a man in their life because of the missing piece. Because when you have a single parent and you don't have the other mate, it's a missing piece of the overall puzzle, and it feels weird to both the woman and it feels weird to some other people just looking at it. And it still feels weird to me seeing and hearing about a single mother. That's one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and write this up and do this video. I have my notes here, and I'm trying to do my best to give this information out. And when I see certain single mothers, it feels kind of sad to me. And some of them I know are really, really good women. And it makes me think like, okay, it just like in my nature, it makes me want to be a part of a single mother's life and to help out with the daughter or the father, the daughter, the son, or whatever situation they have, in which I'm still open to situations like that. However, throughout my experiences dealing with single mothers, including my own family, I know now to be much more selective with which single mother I decide to date. And this is something that men really, really have to pay attention to, that just because a woman is beautiful, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of beautiful single mothers. I met a lot of them. A lot of them came on to me, and a lot of them still come on to me, and I appreciate it. But I know I have to be very selective with these single mothers because there's a lot going on, and I have to make sure that I examine their overall conditioning, because this is something that I just thought about last night as far as the requirements for relationships. There are a certain minimum requirements a person must have before they get into a relationship, a committed, intimate relationship with another individual. And these requirements are certain conditioning. And it is a minimum requirements of psychological, emotional, spiritual, and definitely physical conditioning that allows a person to play their part appropriately within a committed, intimate relationship with another individual, whether it be one or more individuals, so that way they can be much more balanced and also in control of their emotions and not allowing their emotions to pop up and dominate them to sabotage a situation. And I was thinking about myself when my emotions come up about certain situations that are negative emotions, where I already feel good about a situation. I know not to go with the negative part, and I know how to keep staying focused on the positive so that I don't sabotage a good situation. When I experienced that yesterday, that made me realize that, okay, now I'm on a conscious level and I know how to not allow my emotions to sabotage a situation, not allow it to get me to sabotage a situation. That made me realize that, oh my God, now look at this. So this is something that most people lack, the understanding of even that, the higher consciousness of being able to be conscious of the different changes that goes on within their mind, their brain, and their body, that then dictates what type of behavior that they are going to have. When in actuality, they have to be conscious to be able to control themselves and decide what action is best for the situation to make the situation successful. That comes with personal development. On to my next topic: how to evolve yourself. Now, again, this is for people in general, but predominantly for single mothers. Okay, all right. So, like I said, a lot of people, and like I say in some of my other videos, a lot of people come from a very tough background. And that childhood experience, especially that negative childhood experience, has caused a lot of trauma within the individual. And this causes the individual to be psychologically and even biologically programmed to be in a very unstable state of being. And the programming is like a thermostat that's set at a standard. Whatever standard that's set at, a person at some point, they can be at a different happiness. But if their standard is set at a negative, unstable standard, at some point they're going to go right back to where their programming is, and they're going to sabotage the situation. Psychological and biological programming plays a big part on our behavior. If we are unaware of this and we're unaware of how to recondition ourselves to a new standard that is beneficial for ourselves and our relationships, then we're going to sabotage our relationships. That's why the reason why you see a lot of people jumping from relationship to relationship, because it's either them that's doing the sabotaging, and or it is the people that they choose to be in relationships with doing the sabotaging, because it is our beliefs that causes us to choose certain people to be in relationships with, to think that it is okay to be in relationships with them. Once I identified that in myself, I'm like, oh, now I know to be much more aware of what type of people I'm choosing to be in relationships with, and what type of women I'm choosing to be committed in a committed, intimate relationship with, aka a long-term relationship. Because now I know what type of behavior to look for and what type of energies a woman has before I say, okay, this is the one that I want to be with. So now what I want to talk about too is, so this is the start of your personal development journey. You got to really take in consideration of your childhood. How did your childhood go? And think about all of the different major situations that really have scarred you, and think about how those situations positively or negatively, well, when I say scarred, I'm going to say the negatively emotions that they have created within you, and how those situations causes you to sabotage your life. Sabotage even means limiting your thinking. If you think about it, it's limiting your thinking on what you can do and have in your life that you know you want and need. Because believe it or not, there's some people who have very limiting beliefs that causes them to choose the negative people, toxic people to be in relationships with. I'm one of those people that used to be that way. So now I know, now that I increased my worth, my overall value with my personal development, now I know I deserve great treatment so that I can have a peaceful, successful, respectful relationship with people in general. But now we're talking about relationships, intimate relationships. Now I know I deserve respect from a woman, and I avoid allowing myself to tolerate anything less than a high level of respect. And just like the last situation I was in with the woman, I gave her 2 chances to avoid, to control herself and to not allow herself to disrespect me. The second time she disrespected me, I just walked out the door and I left her alone. This is what happens when you develop a high level of confidence within yourself and high level of true value, where you truly appreciate yourself. You do not allow yourself to settle for anything less of the respect that you feel that you deserve. And you won't just sit around and allow a person to disrespect you, yelling at you for stupid reasons. Like, for example, I had a book from her bookcase that she already knew that I'm a person that loves to read books. And she saw me the first time when she was in a happy-go-lucky mood and she was feeling good, the first time cycling through her books. Because when I see books, I want to look and see what they are. So the first time I grabbed them, which it was the week before, she didn't have a problem with it. But again, when that emotionalism comes on and it flames on, like Johnny Blaze, whatever his name is, from the Fantastic Four, when that emotionalism comes on, most women do not know how to deal with it. And then they just get all snappy and crappy. And those are the situations where men do not need to be around unless you know how to deal with those situations. You know how to put out those flames. And then the second time, she just snapped at me because I grabbed it. And I could tell, like early on that morning when I woke up, when she walked out into the living room to clean up, I could feel that negative energy starting to just stir up. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. I know this energy because it's been with my mother and all of my females in my family. This is a negative energy. This is when they start to get snappy. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to stick to myself and just be quiet. So I'm going to grab this book right here that I've been wanting to read. Let me pick it up, go ask her, can I read it? And then that's when she just snapped when I asked her. And I asked her politely. And that's when she got disrespectful. And then she got disrespectful again later on when I brought it up, like, yo, you did not have to snap that much. But anyways, I'm going on too much. But so that's what it is. So you got to do more self-reflection and self-analysis of yourself. First things first, you got to sit down and really think about yourself, think about your past and how those negative experiences are negatively affecting you right now in your life. So then you also have to start developing skills and hobbies. That's one thing that a lot of people fail to really understand, the importance of actually developing skills and having hobbies. These type of things actually add more value to a person, so that when they're considering being in a relationship with another person, if a person asks the question, what makes you much more valuable than anybody else that I could be with, then you can go ahead and say, okay, I have this skill, this, and this. I'm very psychologically and emotionally stable. And this is if it's a woman, since we're talking about women right now, this is a woman. So it's like, it's very important to have these skills, have a variety of skills, and skills that are actually useful for yourself in relationships, that you can actually provide the relationship. So just sit down and think about what types of skills will be important for you. And now I'm talking about single mothers. So let's say if you don't know how to cook, start picking up cooking. Cooking is a very good idea to know how to cook as a mother. I mean, as a woman in general. It's not a necessity, but it's a major plus when men come across a woman who actually knows how to cook, and cook very well, and who has confidence in her cooking. And I know that's how it is with me. I come from a family of women who all cook, except my youngest sister, but who all cook, and I come in aunts too. Aunts who cook very well. So it's a major plus for me to have a woman who actually knows how to cook and enjoys cooking too, where it's not a hassle for her. That's a major plus, but it's not a letdown for me and for a lot of men. So the hobbies also is good to have, where you actually have something that you enjoy doing other than just sitting around watching drama TV. That's what I got to tell you too. Stop watching that drama TV where you have a bunch of women arguing at their man and they're going through all of these tough situations. That is all negative psychological and emotional programming that is also adding to your already dysfunctional programming that you currently have, that you're trying to let go and recondition to a much more positive programming. So I got to tell you too, you have to stop watching those drama shows that are of drama, especially relationship drama. Stop watching those. And if you can, just completely cut out TV. And if you already cut out TV, then you got to be very cautious of what you're watching on the Netflix, the Hulus, even the YouTube videos. Anything that's of dysfunction, that's not positive, you have to stop consistently watching it over and over again, because that's a negative programming for yourself. Okay, so those are some of the minor things, and I can probably go on and on, but I'll do that in certain situations with certain people. The other thing I want to say is, me being a personal development consultant, I definitely can help you out with this. You can check out my transformationsubliminals.com website. I have a great amount of information for you to learn there. And you can also check out my YouTube channel at NeoOneness Subliminals. I'll probably have that into my video here to show you what my logo is and how to spell it. And there I have also a single mom subliminal. Yes, I do care about single mothers. I've been raised by one, and I thought it was a good idea that since I create video and audio subliminals for a variety of other things and a variety of people, why not target single mothers to actually help them out with their psychological reconditioning? That is what I do with people with my personal development products and services. I help them recondition themselves to a new condition, a standard condition, so that standard can be the standard regardless of what type of mindset they get into. They'll always revert back to that standard. So that's how the mind and the brain works. Whatever programming we have that is of our standard, that is how we are going to behave and going to perceive life, people, place, and things in life, regardless of how much we say we want to change. Whatever that standard is, we're going to go right back to that standard. So a person says they want to be in a committed, intimate relationship with another individual where it's a peaceful, successful, loving, happy-go-lucky one, but they find themselves keep jumping from relationship to relationship, then they probably have one or more major types of psychological standards that's keeping them from actually having that type of relationship with another individual. So with this single mother subliminal, what it's going to do is going to provide you with a new psychological standard, providing you positive beliefs so that you can pick up that strong, mature mind that you need to have as a single mother and as a woman in general, because I try my best to cover all the major aspects of life. That's maturity, and maturity deals with the mind first and foremost. Finances, I covered finances. I covered aspects of love, definitely communication, but communication is part of maturity anyways also. So the overall maturity that deals with a variety of aspects. That's communication, that's being able to respect people and respect yourself, having a high value of yourself. That's something that a lot of single mothers need to have now, a high value of self, so that you won't keep choosing these no good men, and you'll be able to perceive the no good men and not accept them. And then you will be able to perceive the good guys, the actual ones that are beneficial for you in a relationship, and you'll be able to choose those. That is one of the top reasons why a lot of people are not in good relationships also, is their belief system keeps them from perceiving the ones that are actually beneficial for them and that they need to be with, but they actually perceive the no good ones and they think that those are the good ones to go with, and they choose those. And that's the reason why they keep going from relationship to relationship. And that's the reason why a lot of people keep having babies from these different people, which is not a good look at all. Especially if you want a very good relationship with a high value individual. You don't want to have a whole bunch of kids from a whole different people. It's not a good look, especially when you're talking to me. That's not a good look. That's a red flag first and foremost. But I know how to still look and see what else the woman has, to see if I can still compromise, but that's separate. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. This is much more longer than I expected, but this is something that people really, really need to learn and really think about. It's vital information, so I'm glad I took my time and got this out. So definitely, if this has benefited you in one way or another, please go ahead and click that thumbs up button of this video. It is free. You have to be signed in to your account for it to actually count. And signing up for a YouTube channel account is very, very easy. You don't have to have a channel. All you have to do is just sign up, and then you can have the account so that you'll be able to comment. And also you can be able to have a watch history, so you can go back to certain videos that you already viewed. So click that like button, please. Make sure you signed into your account. Click the thumbs up. The thumbs up button is the like button. Share this video link on your social media accounts. Spread the word about my channel here. Click that subscribe button, because I do my best to provide vital information such as this to help people out, to help them realize where the situation is and realize that it is possible for them to recondition their minds to have a much more successful life, peaceful life also, because living in this day and age nowadays is very difficult for a lot of people to have a peaceful, prosperous life. If you want to speak to me privately, you can email me. If it's about relationships, you can email me at committedrelationships@gmail.com. That's all one word. Or if it's about personal development, it is at NeoOneness subliminals@gmail.com. That will be in the description and most likely in the video also at some point. So thank you very much, and until next time.